Hello and welcome to the latest edition of RIUtv News. It is, of course, our regular news bulletin looking at all the exciting events and developments in research into use, this time covering the month of February. And coming up, we have, of course, a packed programme. We'll be looking at the role of banking in the Cuckoo deal in Tanzania and also in the warrantage programme in Rwanda. We'll be asking why this Kenyan politician was interested in aqua shops, and we'll also be having an interesting update on how two of our programmes are collaborating and sharing lessons on rice. But first, each month, to coincide with the production of RIUtv News, RIU's Professor Ian Maudlin, our director, produces his own update looking at the broader trends and developments in agriculture for development. This month you can read about his frustration when he attended an international meeting on animal health where there was a reluctance to accept that poor farmers were engaged in a business. He said, "We have a long way to go if experts are not sure about the nature of farming in the 21st century." You can find his full update, of course, on the RIU homepage. As I said in our headlines, you can also find a related news story looking at the role of banking. In particular, it covers the way that the Cuckoo deal in Tanzania and RIU Rwanda's warrantage programme have made smallholders want and need bank accounts. Banking is a good performance indicator for the move from subsistence to smallholder businesses. Now, part of the RIU experiment was to think about how communication worked to get messages across on getting research into use, and this led to RIU investing in Shujaz. We've been seeing some interesting impact data this week which suggests that copies of Shujaz are still being read and acted upon after 10 months. This stickiness and recirculation is really interesting and encouraging because we've reached a milestone with the 5 millionth copy printed carrying an agricultural story. In the next Shujaz, the story is about fish farming. Fish is also very much on the menu this month with the opening of the first RIU-backed aqua shop in Western Kenya. There was a great turnout for the event, including the former Minister for Fisheries. He's now the Minister for Youth and Sport, Dr. Paul Nyongesa Otuma. RIU's Andy Ward, who attended the opening ceremony, said there was a general feeling that aqua shops was just what the sector wanted, and even talk of rolling them out across Kenya. So congratulations to our colleagues at Farm Africa, and you can find out more on RIU Radio, where one of our correspondents was on hand to file a report.
Susan Otieno from Farm Africa is the person coordinating the aqua shops in this area. She explains what an aqua shop is.
It is a one-stop shop for all the fish farming needs a fish farmer could have. Any fish farmer who visits the shop should be able to get the inputs, the products that a farmer needs to carry on fish farming.
Next, we're going to run through some of the news connected with the crop programmes that Research into Use is supporting. Cassava has been in the news because RIU Rwanda is setting up 3 more farmer field schools for cassava farmers. This initiative will look at getting both improved varieties into circulation and improved crop management techniques. Meanwhile, FIPS has just bought 120,000 cuttings of new improved disease-resistant varieties of cassava. These have been grown on at 240 bulking sites so that plenty of clean planting material is available in Kenya through the FIPS village-based agents. Let's look at maize now, and RIU Rwanda is promoting a new maize variety. Developed by ISAR, the Rwanda Agriculture Research Institute, it's an early maturing variety designed for middle altitude areas such as Nyagatare district, where the RIU maize platform and warrantage scheme is located. RIU Rwanda conducted demonstrations using this variety during the Season A, starting in October 2010, and is now involved in a large-scale promotional campaign in collaboration with the RIU-supported Maize Innovation Platform. 150 demonstration plots are being prepared, and the associated communications and marketing campaign is targeting 12,000 farmers. And if you want to see examples of really big maize, then we've got some promising news from another RIU-backed programme. In the picture you can see a farmer holding two maize heads, one grown after using Grow Plus and the smaller one grown conventionally. So early indicators are that Grow Plus really does make a difference. But we'll soon have better information from RIUtv because they have excelled themselves and recruited 50,000 farmers to take part in a trial of Grow Plus. We've some great photos of the operation to get the new speed priming product distributed, where IPM invited people by telephone and text to come and collect their packs of Grow Plus. It looked like some very lively and busy days getting products out to 50,000 farmers. We also had some nice feedback from Collins Wanyama of RIUtv. He told us that some people had been to an internet cafe to view our videos and see the RIU website to find out more about IPM, and that had encouraged them to get involved in the programme. RIU is also supporting two very different rice programmes. In Uganda, the Nerika rice team has just produced a manual on quality seed production, which you can download from the website. In Zambia, a partnership with Community Markets for Conservation, or Kamako Limited, has resulted in interesting branding work which created It's Wild Rice. They're both achieving a great deal, and now they're having an exchange visit to share this learning. RIU is really keen to find ways of capturing the learning from the projects, and RIUtv will be featuring this exchange visit in the March bulletin. RIU has brought together a group of private sector contractors who can offer draft power ripping and weed control services. Now, these are very important in the field of conservation agriculture, and it's allowed them to offer those services to clusters of smallholders. RIU has used interactive radio and other communications and marketing techniques to build a market for these services. RIU Zambia anticipates that 110 oxen teams will be in place by the end of March 2011. We've also been looking at the role of the private sector in Nigeria, with a small start-up company looking at taking cowpea hay to the Fulani cattle reserves in a deal brokered by SOS Nigeria. We've revisited the story about the compact baler, which is being used to compact the cowpea hay. 14 of these devices are now in place, operated by teams of contractors. It's early days, but there are encouraging signs that the hay baling will become part of the farming experience in Kano State. There's also a new update from Utiang Ugbe. He's the RIU Nigeria country coordinator, looking at how they've worked with ADA to capacity build the group which works with widows. This is part of a process of reflection on how RIU has impacted on women. Agnes Ingwu and Grace Jockson attended the ILRI workshop on gender and market-oriented agriculture. Reflecting on the conference, Dr. Grace Jockson, Programme Officer at RIU Nigeria, said, "We discussed the fact that women are about half the population and very significant in terms of agricultural production in Africa. However, if women can be persuaded and supported to make agriculture a business instead of just a subsistence venture, then there can be huge positive consequences for development indicators." So we finish this bulletin where we started, with RIU Nigeria adding to what Professor Ian Maudlin said in his update. That's just about it for this bulletin. Watch out for next month's bulletin, where we'll be reporting from Nairobi, where all the RIU programmes will be getting together to share the lessons and look at the impact of research into use. Bye for now.